Immediately you did not talk. When I say come, the next thing is to wait for instruction. And then it is now left for him to carry out that instruction. Brethren, you must revisit our calling. That's all I'm trying to say. The devotional challenge, we are going to revisit the God that called you, if he had ever called you. He doesn't change his itinerary. He knows how he do his own thing. If you are called, there must be specific instructions. I must be building on it. Yes, you can grow in that, but you must stick to what you are called to become. Then before I will step into, because I may be telling you scriptures, or maybe, because these are not general congregations, so we'll be speaking. As I'm speaking, I'm happy. That's why I say I'm happy. So I may be quoting scriptures, I'll be talking scriptures. Please give your attention so that we walk with time. But let's go to where I will lay our foundation, to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, read verse 18 and 20. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 18 and 20. It says, is any man called being circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. Is any man called in circumcision? Let him not be circumcised. Then 20, don't jump to 20. Let every man abide. That's my major topic we are going to be working with. Let every man abide in the same calling wherein he was called. Let every man do what? Where are you going to abide? In the same calling wherein he was called. In fact, that 20 is my main topic. Abide in that same calling that you were called. God does not mistake and cannot. Before he calls a man, he has designed his portfolio through which you will be working and doing something else. Brother, abide in the same calling wherein you were called. That's where your grace will be. You might not be master of all. God doesn't do things that way. Abide in those things that you were called. Abide. When you are in junior class, they teach you almost everything. But as time progresses, they will now channel it at one point. Even if you have to go in the higher learning and become one day, whatever you may become. You may become a specialist on particular thing, not just in everything. But they will teach you to have knowledge of this, have knowledge of this, have knowledge of this as junior class. As you are going, they will now narrow it to where you spend your life doing what you should be doing and doing it better. So wherein you are called, abide. You are not called to be a sit-down dey look. And that will take us to a life I want us to look at. As we pick this passage, we are going to look at a life, human being that survived in this life. We saw him, a man I've never seen such. He's a man I always learn from. Apart from Paul, I we learn from several. But the man I'm talking about is the man you know and you love, King David. If you are to think about that man, I don't know how you meditate. If you are to think about that man, I've done that over and over. Where did he learn all those things he was even quoting? When and where? Because if you take time to, revisit his life, you discover, when he was called. Do you remember? He was tending some sheep and other things in the forest. When first he was collected and was anointed anyway. Then from there, we are going to look at his life properly anyway. But if you are to check, when did he learn all those things I was even quoting? That even his brothers did not have it. Even the elder brother was the least among them. The last child. But he was busy doing something. God never picked any man for nothing. Remember, there is a deposit in you that you must develop. It's not as if you are not gifted. And God will not demand what they are not giving you and say, produce this, when he gave you nothing. It's still in line with what you were gifted that God is going to judge you. Several of us have lost the fear of God. Oh, I love that word. It made me to shed tears when she was singing it. As if it was my first time. Bible said the servant that knows what to do and did not do it will be visited with many, many strokes. Even said those who know what to do and did not do it when I begin to cause trouble among other servants. He said the master will come when he least expected. And you know his end, what will be his end. And these are pictures, this was Jesus talking like this. Oh. And that have been the character of workers, some workers. They are not even doing the work, but are even causing trouble among brethren. The master of the job will appear. He will come and he will give account whether you are in the ministry of causing trouble among brethren. So we must fear this God who is the owner of the vineyard that have called you. He did not call you to stay like this. Very soon, several of us may not do many, many things again. And what will you render as account as your achievement? What has been your driving force in this thing we are doing? Several of us are doing it as if he's doing it for Redeemed Baptist Church, or you're doing it for pastor, or you're doing it for your father, or your husband, or like a brother who just finished ministration before me now. He mentions similar to what I'm saying now. As if you are trying to please God, to do it for God. In fact, one of the words he said, they'll say, we are saved to serve. I pen it down again. You are not saved to stay like this. But what are you doing is the matter. Just look at yourself. Am I even doing anything? What are you doing? What will you say you are doing? It's not about in a department or whatever. What are you doing? Like I said earlier, God will not demand on you what he had not deposited in you. This same David that was called had godly deposit in him. It was God who said in 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 1, you are more enough for a man I have rejected. What are you spending your time? You can turn to some, because we are going to dig some within the limited time I have here. Now, God emphatically told Samuel, go somewhere. Now, the Lord said to Samuel, you are more than long enough. I'm reading from NLT. For Saul, I rejected him as king of Israel. So fill your flask with oil, with olive oil, and go to Bethlehem. Find a man named Jesse who lives there. For I have selected one of his sons to be my king. Do you see? Now, God said, I have selected this man. You better never mourn anymore. Stop mourning for a man I've rejected. And what was God's purpose for David? To become a king. But as time progresses, you discover a man more than a king. For you Bible students, you know he's also a prophet. Never you mourn. I have rejected this man. The plan of God is to make this man king, which he did. And then let's go to verse 11 to 13. Like a good sister, have you are with your listen. Have a mic, so will be reading for me. Sister Carfor, give her a mic. Be reading for me. Quickly. You can read on your phone. I think it's more easier.
Press symbol 10.
First, you can sit down. 11 to 13. 16, 11 to 13.
Okay, 16. 11 to 13. And it says, then he asked him, do you have any more sons? Jesse answered, there is still the youngest, but he is out taking care of the sheep. Tell him to come here, Samuel said. We won't offer the sacrifice until he comes. So Jesse sent for him. He was a handsome, healthy young man, and his eyes sparkled. The Lord said to Samuel, this is the one, anoint him. Samuel took the olive oil and anointed David in front of his brothers. Immediately, the Spirit of the Lord took control of David and was with him from that day on. Then Samuel returned to Ramah.
Hallelujah. A man was chosen by God and God sent. Even he was not there with his brothers. He was right inside the bush, receiving training upon training. Brother, where God has picked you, it's not your own making. God knows who to pick and what to pick you for. And he doesn't pick all these things and surrounding yesterday's message. He does not pick you for nothing. He said, it's not just mouth talk. You will see this man who was picked, people mention what he had, and then he has those things, and they are performer. It's not as if they said it's this and that, it's this and that, but the smart lip service. Now, God chose him because there is something in him. We are not just reading about David for reading's sake, but because that is, we are talking about you that is here. Sister, read verse 18. 16, 18.
Verse 18.
Yeah.
One of his attendants said, Jesse of the town of Bethlehem has a son who is a good musician. He is also a brave and handsome man, a good soldier, and an able speaker. The Lord is with him.
Praise the Lord. Which version are you reading?
Good news.
New King James.
Good news.
No, you pick a King James so that you will have your phone. Go with on your phone. New King James. But leave the one you have read already. We are trying to say here, look at what was said of this man. Brethren, we are talking about you. You are not, God doesn't choose a man who is empty. Even if you are empty, he's the one who is going to feed you. He must fill you up with something. You are not empty, but you must be performing with those gifts. We saw it. He played out. When it was time to make use of his musical instrument, he did that. When it was time to go for war, he did that. When it was time to apply wisdom, he said he's a man of wisdom. He did that. Every other thing you saw here that was in that man was operational. He was not dormant. Those things you saw in him, what of you? You don't be a waster. Any waster can never please God. God had called you and I to occupy a post to fulfill a purpose. But it's not left for you and I, whether you are busy doing it. Oh, if not, some of you. But I don't need to be afraid whether you misunderstand me, because you shouldn't. And look at, but let me not mention names too much. My mind ran back now to remember some of our brethren who are gifted in particular way that God has given them. Up to now, if you approach them on that aspect, I was talking with my brother yesterday, to be precise. We come to talk about one of our brother whose son was misbehaving. And when he was talking, I know it was his field. He knows better than that. I know it was his field. I know if he was given chance to handle it, I know he can handle that one. Brethren, we are not just moving here and there and then jumping up and down, but occupying no post. We are not doing anything for God. He was called for a purpose, to rule his people, and was chosen by God. Nobody is contending over that. But he has a quality. It's not by he can talk, he can do this one, he can do the other one. That was a deposit in him. So do you. You have such deposits. There are deposits in us. But did you put them into action? Are they operational even in the church? What is stopping you? Challenges never stops a man. In fact, we have equal opportunity. May nothing tell you you would have done this if not these challenges. None of us had such challenges that this man had. What could have stopped David? We are so much. What could have made him not to be productive? What could have made him not to be industrious was so much, so much. And he could have, thrown off the tower and say, I can't do anything. See this heavy man. Imagine Tinubu going against you. Can you survive it with the whole army? You won't even remember your Bible again. It's not about challenges. Several challenges that are coming to us is to find those gifts. Bible said we should endure sound doctrine. If they were, I told you these things came even yesterday. They said sacrifices are painful. It's not an easy thing. And God is not going to take you for easy things. But the possibility of achieving those things will rely on your relationship with God. Because when he came to David, he was not fighting that man by his own strength. He said, I'm going to fight you in the name of Jehovah. Then people will now know that it wasn't by material, the armory you possess, your military prowess, that determines who is going to win the war. Is that not opposite of what we know about natural things? I don't know whether they are following. How can somebody have drums and other things and you are going with a chakapop gun and say you are going to win him? He will target you, may even shoot him and miss him. But those people with good better gadgets will target location and drop it. If it were somebody want to handpick, the thing will just come on that person and then pick him. They won't miss it. But you is aiming. As you close one eye, you are trying to aim. You are aiming and say you are going to defeat him. Who told you are going to do that? But this man who was with just catapult, so to say, and trying to face a man who has his armor bearer, all your people were at the backyard. Some may have closed their eyes when we hear the shout of that man, because it was like when people are playing football, somebody want to play penalty, some will close their eye. Even some coaches, I used to see them, they will remove their eye. When people will be shouting, they will not come. I know, they have been saying, oh God, you can't face this man. You can't face this man. Has been a warrior from childhood. You can't. Is it with catapult? What will you go? You have no match. You have no match to that man. You can't go. But the man said, allow me. I have experience. I was in the bush. Only me. Lion came. I said, you can't do that. I withstood him and collected my animal. When I cross-checked that testimony, I said, this man, wow. I hope you know this thing is not putting the picture of you and I. What do you do when the enemy want to handpick just a soul? Do you know if we are to calculate it, if you are me, I hope you understand. Since the line was not on me, against me, it's name of somebody. Since that war is money that was go, let it go, and human being, my head no enter. Now one lamb that lion collected, the man who owns the everything said, no, you to chop this one, you don't take away with the chop, but this is my own, you no go chop him. He said, I collected it from his mouth. I said, this man no the fear. He said, it was as if that challenges was not enough. Beer came again. And I say, I've defeated your brother, Yusuf, now small thing will be. And I defeated two of them, and this man will be like one of them. Brother, the experiences and what God is training you is for you to be profitable in the household of faith, in the field of your service. It's not to destroy you. All the challenges that man had, God was watching him. Let me know what we do. He said, this flock, you can't go with it. Brother, what do you do with flocks that comes? He said, is that this fornicator? That one where they fight? Where that one where they quarrel? Can't leave him. If we, in fact, just to make numbers, that was why he's there. Is that the way you talk? You see somebody that you saw animal that is heavier than him. I don't know how this thing used to target. I used to watch Nigel Ward sometime. They have had the chance to do that. They would just be targeting the weaker one. Oh, I'm quoting people who knows better about these things. They'll be targeting the weaker one. Even if they are numerous, they may be in hundreds. The one that you see them wangling inside and be pursuing the particular one they want to pursue. And they never pursue the bigger, is the weaker one they used to pursue. And that's devil for you. The one that devil is targeting the weaker ones among us. And when they caught them, ready to tear them, what do you do? What do you do? What do you normally do? Is it not to gossip them to do many things? But this man that have obtained training said, no, you can't go with this one. I collected my animal and then killed the enemy. So you can't collect this one. If you are going to go hungry, go. You better go hungry than eating this one. I believe he now, did some medication on that animal because it must have collected some wounds. Do you know if we are to be you and I, will become another problem. Since he has collected that foolish man, each time when they give man headache. But that was what prepared the man. It was a preparation. What I'm trying to tell us, or what we are trying to tell ourselves, is that challenges doesn't stop a man. It's not the magnitude of your challenge that determines whether you are going to succeed. And two, it was the deposit of God in you that attract those things. God knows what you are going to face. A man who is going to face a great nation like Israel is not a man who will be inexperienced. Is not a man who may not face challenges. When challenges comes, you see several people collecting pity from men, seeking for people who will be siding them with their rubbish characters and attitude, who will be romancing them with those words. He never wanted anybody who is going to speak to the main issue. And you say you are going to survive. And that's how a man who is going to rule. You are not a ruler, you can't. If you are to calculate, I've done deep studies on the life of David and Saul. Many times when I read about Saul, I weep. There was a time, several times, and God did what he did in the life of Samuel in my own heart. Because what that man faced was severe. It wasn't a small thing, But God was not looking at what he was facing. He's looking at his personality, because if you do not possess the quality, you can't rule my people. Because every now and then, at one time or the other, challenges that will be overwhelming must come. Then what will you do? Similar thing that came to him, multiple have come to David. He did not panic. Could you just imagine a king going after your life, and you had opportunity? In fact, some of those one was not even him. Should in case he's saying, let me not shed blood. Somebody said, Oga, it's just once. If I miss that man, see me, I no go be Sam. Just, but we were thinking, maybe David is afraid. What if you miss this in what will be our? He said, Oga, no go miss now. Mama, just wait now. See what I was like, are you going to touch God's anointed? Excuse me, if your pastor, I'm not defending pastors, or your leaders were like Saul, will you even say, I'm not waiting? What did you say now? Don't raise your hand against God. He said, God, devil's anointed. The man where, I hope you know, devil was even tormenting Saul. So how do you now say he's anointed of God? That I won't kill this enemy that gathered all the army of Israel and pursuing me. That pressure that man said, I will not kill him. He said, it's either he died of old age, because I'm younger than him. One day he must die. That was what he said. Or he went for war, because I will not touch him. It's either he died of his own old age, when he must have died. I know God has given me the grace to elude Israel, but I won't touch this man. He will die of himself. Either sickness caught him and he dies, or he went for war, or he dies. But me, I'm not the one to kill him. Are you talking? Are you with your mind? That he repeated in another way. He still maintained, I'm not going to touch him. How did the Saul die? He died in Okomoko. Because he also went and began to Okomoko until he died, not only him and his sons, and the armor bearer that committed suicide. Everything about him finished. So God was looking for a man who knows whom he was and know that he cannot disappoint. I know I am going to fight you to finish, not by my own power, but by the name of Jehovah, so that people will not know that it's not by weapon that man can win wars. Wars are not won by your brave or your brilliant soldiers or whatever. You are coming against me with spear and all those things. But I'm coming against you in the name of Jehovah. Where did this man, brethren, I wanted to rewind your memory, as I did. Where did this man got all this experience? A pastor on him? Why is it that you never want to learn from the experiences God is training you? You are after one thing or the other. Even when God is training you to become a big man, what he was training this man was out of love. He knew he was going to, you know what he faced now? Several things he faced. And God knows what he was about to face, so you need to build capacity. As God is trying to build you with this capacity, you are throwing one javelin at one man or at one woman, and you are focused on one other thing, not focusing on the grace that was on you. The man, he has, in my own Bible here, it was like 6 giftings that that man had. Bible here, it was like 6 giftings that that man had. He said he's a brave man, Abi. Bible says, give me several of them. Let me be sure you know what he had. He's a musician. That's musician.
A mighty man of valor.
Okay, mighty man of valor. So a good warrior.
A man of war.
A man of war.
Prudent in speech.
Prudent is not a man who will be talking jargon. He has something upstairs. And then I think you have mentioned the handsome.
Yeah.
I love the way I love the way NLT said. He said he's a dark man. I said, now black man will be. I didn't know he was dark. He said NLT said he was a dark man. And I said, okay. But he has a good eye. And then when he said God, but he's a dark man. So he had this quality with. Do you know you have several qualities? It's for you to put it into practice. If we had time, we would have read some of them, of various activity, the victory he won, and where he played out all those things. But we're going to go forward. We're going to go forward. So, but however, let's read 18. Sister, read chapter 18, verse 5, because it's good we mention it. Read chapter 18, verse 5, then we'll jump to 12 to 16. Listen carefully.
So David went out wherever Saul sent him and behaved wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war. And he was accepted in the sight of all the people and also in the sight of Saul's servants.
Okay, let's wait a bit. This man that was said to be a brave soldier and a brilliant man, did we see him perform like that? Disappoint anybody? You see, Bible said, whatever Saul asked David to do, David did it successfully. NLT. So Saul made him a commander over the men of war. An appointment that was welcomed by the people and Saul's officers alike. So this man, because of his agility, Saul took him and made him commander general of the whole army. And people were satisfied. The officer did not say, this young boy, how can you rule us? Oh my God, we cannot exhaust everything we saw here. If we were to be church, some of you, this small boy, now he go be ruler. But his performance was what gave him room. Bible said everybody was satisfied. Why? He goes out and comes back successfully. If he says, stand there, hey, do there, hey, do there, which enemy will overcome this man of God, man of power, who has wisdom? Okay, read 12 to 16.
Saul was then afraid of David, for the Lord was with David, and had turned away from Saul. Finally, Saul sent him away and appointed him commander over 1,000 men. And David faithfully led his troops into battle. David continued to succeed in everything he did, for the Lord was with him. When Saul recognized this, he became even more afraid of him. But all Israel and Judah loved David because he was so successful at leading his troops into battle.
Praise the Lord. He did not disappoint the Israelites. He was not appointed, and he now disappointed people that sent him. Both the people of Israel and Saul. Saul, he was also afraid. What was his fears? This man will take over. He knew he was going to be the next king. Now, the way this one is advancing, now wow. He become afraid of him. But let's leave that man apart. But he was successful. He never lost any battle. You will never lose any battle in Jesus' name. Brethren, you are called, remain in what you are called. That's what God is telling us today. The challenge God is giving us. Those things that God has committed in your hands, make sure you are doing it adequately as should. We saw David, he had several challenges, both from home, from the society, from the enemy, from here and there, even inside his house. You know what happened in his life. But that did not cut his ministry short. He worked stronger and stronger and stronger until his hosts become like that of angel of God. That was what the Bible told us. Brother, we will work stronger and stronger. Don't be afraid of facing challenges. And for challenges, they will come, they will come. Discover what God has said you will occupy, and occupy that. Stand by it. It is on that you will thrive. If you begin to wamble about and do this one and do this one, and you cannot even mature in any. Stick to what God has deposited in your heart. They are there in your heart. They are there in your heart. And God has been giving you revelations upon revelations upon revelation. It is on those things that God has called you that you will begin to have visions on how to come about them. And you cannot hold God responsible, because he is also going to tell you what to do and what not to do on that particular thing he has called you to become. Don't envy anybody like Saul. Begin to me, I don't envy any man. It's not a lip service. God, I know, and I know that I know it. I don't envy any man. You are